What do I think about the opti idle? It's actually hello guys, and let's get to it. All right, so right now my key is in the off position. All right, now to turn on the opti idle, you're gonna need either to have it in the on position, which is the second position here. All right, not the first one, but the second one. All right, so you can either have it on the second one, or you can turn the engine on. And that's really loud for you guys, so I'm gonna turn it off. And I'm gonna put it back into the second position, which it'll be on. All right, so after this, let's now get up here. All right, so we have the control panel right here, right? We have the arrow keys and the OK button here, back button. And here we have the double window button. This is the double window button, cancellation. And these are cruise control and lights. All right, so when you want to activate that opti idle, and you either are on the on position or you have turned the engine completely on, you're gonna be hitting, the easiest way is to hit the double window. All right, you hit it twice. All right, and when you hit it twice, it's gonna bring you to this menu. All right, so we're gonna hit it twice. It'll bring it to this menu right here. So it wants you to hit OK, which I already showed you the panel on the left hand side. So we're gonna hit OK. Now it's gonna tell you interior comfort. So you're gonna go to the arrow key and go to the right, and it's gonna say on. Once you hit OK, that opti idle would be on, will become on. Now it'll take a few minutes depending on the temperature or inside the truck to turn it on and off. Now it's turning on. You're here right now. Okay, see interior comfort mode on, and the system turned on. Now if you want to turn it off, you can either shut the truck off back to the off position, or you can hit the air brakes and it'll use the air brakes and it'll turn it off. So I'm gonna turn it off now. So to turn it off, you can either hit OK and go down and hit disable and press OK. Now the truck is gonna stay on because that's the default on it. So you're gonna have to turn it off. It eventually will turn off after the 2-minute mark, 2.5-minute mark. All right. Now, the other way of turning the opti idle on is you will go to where the little truck is, and it's gonna be the third to the left, to the right. So you're gonna go to the fourth option, click OK to select the option. So you have idle adjustment and optimize idle. So you're gonna hit optimize idle, you're gonna hit OK, and it's gonna ask you to enable, press OK again. And now, just like before, you're gonna have the option of switching from on and off, and once you hit on, it'll turn the opti idle back on. But I'm gonna hit off. Don't turn on. All right, I'm gonna hit off just because we don't really need to use it right now. So that's the simplest way to turn on the opti idle. Now, what do I think about it? Let's get to it. It feels like it's a little crooked there. Well, what do I think about the opti idle? It's actually decent. I won't say it's the perfect thing in the Freighliner, but it helps out, to be honest. Now, the 2018 through 2020 from Swift, they come with an inverter and the opti idle. 2017, some of the 2017 have them, but the majority are the new 18s and over. All right. So I've been using this truck for the past 3-4 months now since I switched from the International that broke down on me. So once it has 2 plugs for that inverter, and the inverter is 1800 watts, and it worked perfectly fine for me. I have a laptop and I have a refrigerator, 800 watt, 700 watt microwave, and it works perfectly fine. So when you use the microwave on the battery itself and you're using your laptop and you have something connected to it, after the battery gets to a certain percentage, I think it's under 11.1 watts or something like that, the opti idle itself would turn on, right? And that's if you engage the opti idle itself. Now, if you don't turn it on, the battery is gonna start beeping. The inverter is gonna start beeping, telling you that the battery, there's not enough juice in the battery. And what would happen is that in order to save the battery, that inverter will shut off on you. So you have to have the opti idle on, or you have to have the truck on. Now, the opti idle only works with the back display system, all right? The HVAC system in the back. All of them have it, and the range of temperature is between 65 to 80 degrees. But if you have the front on, and if you hit the little sleeping guy right here, you'll be able to get it cooler inside of there. Now, I've been in Arizona and I've been in all the way up to Washington. I've been already to like -10, -15 degrees. Is the best? Like I said, no. So the 2016 doesn't have opti idle, but some of them have inverters. So the idle time, the Swift sets is above under 35 degrees. The idle will stay on, and in the heat, it'll have to be above, I believe it's 75 or 80. That's the temperature that they consider comfortable. It's not comfortable. Now, if you have issues with those type of temperatures, you need to go to the mechanic in one of the terminals and tell them that you need to remove the perimeters because it's getting too hot and you can't stand it any longer. Now, Swift is gonna ask you, to do as much as you can not to be in the truck during these heat waves and stuff like that. But most of the times you can't, you're gonna have to be inside the truck because there's no other way to go about it, basically. If you're in the middle of the desert on one of these rest stops, there's no way that you're gonna be able to just sit inside the rest stop for the rest of the day because it's just mostly a bathroom there and a few vending machines. So the opti idle sucks. The idle sucks because during this summer, I literally, like when I was in Arizona or Utah, and you have these temperatures above 100, I would literally wake up soaking wet, like humid. And that's another thing, right? The opti idle, it'll turn on when the temperature it varies, right? But in the summer, it's great. It'll keep you cool. Is wonderful. You have the humidity already in the air, and it'll keep your body in constant temperature, and it'll keep it really nice and cold back there. It says 65, but in my opinion, it goes below 65 degrees because when I was in there, I was freezing my butt off. And I'm one of those persons who's from Jersey, and look, I got shirts, right? I got a shirt, a t-shirt, and I got a shirts on right now. So we consider 55, 50 degrees, 60 still good weather. So we will still have like t-shirts and shirts on, all right? So it'll be cool there enough that you're gonna be freezing your butts off, trust me. Now, in the cold weather, the truck doesn't hold humidity at all. So you'll get dried up, you will start, like, your skin will start drying up in the winter. And that's one of the things that I find really horrible, that for some reason the humidity can't stay some level inside of here. You might need a humidifier or something like that, a small one, to when you're sleeping at night, because you will, if you have respiratory problems, you're gonna have a little bit of it. I sometimes wake up with like a dry throat because it's so dry, and like I have like 5, I just bought today 5 gallons, and I have a bag of 40 little bottles of water, because I keep drinking water all the time, because it's just, and I got one of these guys here. Whoop. Whoop. One of these guys. I fill this with water every single time I go to a Pilot, Love's, or Flying J, or anything like that. I just completely fill it up. Otherwise, I'm gonna be dry at night. So now the bunk heater is one thing, right? For the 2016 Freightliners, the bunk heater from the back is wonderful. It's one of the best bunk heaters that I've had, even better than the 2020 International, and better than the 2020 Freighliner. The bunk heater for the 2016, it was way better. The bunk heater will really like get super hot, and it'll actually warm up that whole place there. It'll warm it up completely. Now with this 2020, the bunk heater, I think they chipped out on it, because it only has one port, one for coming in and one for coming out. And I set it at 82 degrees because it doesn't get hot enough inside the cab. The front here, it bleeds out the heat. It bleeds it out. You can put the curtains up, you can put this thing on here, it'll suck. Now with the International have better insulation when it came to the cab. It was not the greatest bunk heater, but due to the fact that the curtains were much better made, the heat inside would stay there longer, and you would barely have any bleed out. Now with the 16 Freightliner, you did have some bleed of the air coming out of the bunk, but because it was such a powerful bunk heater, it'll keep your bunk bed actually warm, which was actually awesome. That's my opinion. Now, if you're really sensitive to the weather and stuff like that, like me, I just get dry, really dry. Like my legs get super dry. I had to put lotion and stuff on just to be able to keep my moisture in my body. Despite that I drink a lot of water, and you might think he's chunky, he's fat, you know? How can he be doing that? He doesn't drink a lot of water. Trust me, I drink a lot of water. I can't stop, and most of my days I stop like 2, 3, maybe 4 times a day just to go to the bathroom to get rid of the excess fluid out of my body. Now, if you're going through the long haul, if you want to like drive 300-400 miles straight, or 8 hours, I suggest you sip water. Don't drink full gulps of water. Just sip it so your body can have some moisture in your body, and you can start just going, because eventually your body will start asking you to go to the restroom. So my suggestion is take it easy on the water if you want to look at long hauls. Like I said, I do recommend it. The 2020 is very easy to use. You have to have it on though. For the power, you got to have the power on if you want to, if you're gonna be cooking in here. So I got myself today a little electric cooker, frying thing, and it takes 1200 watts, and my machine here, the inverter is 1800 watts. So when I use that, I have to shut off the microwave, and I can have my laptop on because it's not really gonna take that much, because my laptop only takes 200 watts out of the 1800 watts power supply that we currently have in 2020 Freightliners. So that's my take. I really love it though, the convenience on. Unfortunately, like one of my drawers here, the doors doesn't work, so it's all good. I just have like stuff there. I do have eggs, bacon, and like tortillas. I got soups, noodles. You gotta manage your money when you're here. The biggest expense that you're gonna see is food, to be honest. But guys, thank you for coming in. Thank you for checking out the video. And see you in the next one. Take care.